And we are live.
Perfect. I can call it to order. We'll run roll call. Beavers. Here. Ennis. Here. Frank.
Here.
Hankwitz. Here. And I am here. Do we have any public comment? No, we don't. No. All right, we'll look for an approval of the minutes from the April 2026 meeting. A motion. I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion carries. All right. So I'll make the motion to open the public hearing on the city's 2026 master plan. I will make that motion. I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Sorry, who seconded that?
Ennis. Ennis.
Okay.
I don't think we have any public to hear in this public hearing. Nothing online, nothing there. Okay, make motion to close. I'll second that. Public hearing is closed. I guess before we take a motion to approve this, does anybody have anything that they see in here that they deem necessary to change?
I did reach out to Spicer and had them change the people on the board and change from Ridsdale being not on and Frank being on. So that is going to be changed.
I didn't know if because he was on it when we started. How that would work.
I don't know. I think it's by who approved it.
Okay, and that's, yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Kim, do we need to do anything with the murals if they get, since they're in the plan?
If you don't want those pictures in there, then I mean, one of them is the pocket park.
Right.
So
Could we
it's up
change,
to you guys.
is it possible for us to change a photo in the master plan without having to go through a big?
It's not, at this point, no, you can change whatever you want right now. Later, yeah, probably.
Okay. Because I mean, honestly, if that, I agree, Greg, if we're gonna change the mural, there's also the photo for the entrance into town coming from the west.
Right.
If we could, because I know the Girl Scouts landscape has a sign, so if we can, I can run down there after this and snap a photo of this.
Right, and eventually we're gonna get those signs redone too, so.
Yeah, the signs are being redone, so yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. I'll talk to Faith about, when's the absolute deadline for pictures
Okay,
for it to be a final. I did send her pictures, but of course, that was before a lot of this stuff had happened, so I'll find out exactly, because I mean, I don't know if the pictures are that important. It's mainly all the body part that the grant wants, so I'll just have to find out exactly. But if you want those pictures to be changed, then make the motion now to change them, and then they'll be changed.
So I see the one of the sign on page 1. Where's the picture with the murals?
Page 24 has some of the murals.
Particular looking for the one that's on the pharmacy.
And I could always take a picture from the other side.
Yeah,
So we have the pocket park, but not the mural.
That is specified. This,
Page 76.
oh, you have to do that, that's.
I see that, I figured we're all looking at the same pictures.
That's there. It's half in the back and.
Yeah.
I was just gonna wait till someone else found it instead of shuffling and possibly getting a paper cut.
yeah, that's good.
And there's page, is there, so as far as the pictures go, are there any others that we would like to have changed?
Those are the two that stuck out for me, especially now the pocket park has nice lawn and the games are out. We could probably get a little more reference.
Right,
Photo.
On page 81, it also is another welcome sign up. The foliage isn't so great.
Okay.
Oh, he got those electrical box.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'd be willing to donate a couple flat annuals and have them planted before those photos, just so it looked really nice
Okay.
for the master plan.
Actually, the Girl Scouts did put flowers at both of those signs. I think both of those pictures were taken before they put
Yeah.
them in last year, and they haven't, like, they don't look like that now.
Yeah,
There's more of the pocket park on page 94 with a mural in the background.
That one has all the,
Games of it.
That doesn't have the. Yeah, so that's just door open, you know, it's not there.
it's potentially being done, because there's questions about the quality of it. Business owners not thrilled with it.
okay, all right, so we'll put that in there.
So I have taking all the pictures of the mural and the welcome signs. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get I mean, unless we can slide those in, but I don't think they're gonna be done before way end of the summer, because we just got the quote on those, so. But a better picture of the welcome signs with the grass being and the flowers being better. So all the pictures of the mural taken out and replacing those with not the mural and the welcome signs. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I've got the page numbers noted. Okay. Pretty much.
I think the actual content of the plan itself has been gone over in enough detail that it's where, I think,
Yes, it's
I'm
fine.
happy with where it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless. And we've gone over it pretty well. I've peeled through it multiple times now. I feel pretty comfortable with what the content looks like. Anybody else? Speak now, server, hold your peace. Cool. I will make a motion to send this master plan to council with the board members change on page 9 and then different photos on pages 20, 76, 81, and 94.
1 second.
All in favor? Aye. Those against?
We have Did we have a second on that?
Jordan.
Who was it?
Hank Witz.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
Do we have to do a roll call for this one to pass?
Nope. Unless somebody goes against it, nope.
Perfect.
Right.
I have one more question. I was just looking over what was in there. Do we need to be having a floodplain study done?
Yeah, do we have a floodplain study?
Yeah, they did do one. I don't know what year they did it. I think it was the last master plan they did.
Okay, do we
Um,
do that or no?
we can bring that up. I mean, I can send that to you, Allison.
It was just said in the master plan that we didn't have any of that information. It said that it was done in Victor Township, but not in our city limits. So I didn't know if that's something we wanted to look into.
I think when Spicer was here, they basically rely on. Eagle
Mhm.
has like aerial mapping of, not floodplains as much as they are wetlands.
Right.
So I think they kind of are using that as for the purpose of building,
Mhm.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they discussed all the different areas that are vacant, but are wetlands. Not so much floodplains, but wetlands that could not be built. Because there's a lot of property, but no one can build on them.
yeah, I don't think they're identified in the plan, though. Yeah, we went through an overhead map, city with Spicer, and they kind of looked at all the areas. There's a lot of them.
There are.
There are.
Laingsburg as well.
Especially bigs. Yeah. City park and what?
What is the next stop? And then it goes to council with the recommendations.
Yep.
Once they approve this,
Done.
it is what it is.
That's it. Perfect. Kim, when and how will this impact zoning now, once it's passed?
Zoning, probably not, because we have a whole different thing for zoning. And nothing has changed as far as the master plan. You know, it's not rewriting zoning or anything. Zoning is its own thing. Master plan is just pretty much stating what the overview of what the city wants to do or wants to be or is. So, there's not really anything that gonna change once we approve the master plan. It's just our plan.
I thought master plan was what zoning was based off of.
Right, so it's not our master plan coincides with our zoning. So there's nothing in here that's gonna change our zoning per se, unless you wanted it to. If you were gonna change the master plan and wanted to change any zoning areas, then you would have had to do it during this time. But we didn't change any zoning stuff in the master plan. It stayed all the same.
I think there's a push for more high density housing it's called out in the master plan.
Yes, that would be done in the zoning if we wanted to change like size of lots or size, that would be done in the zoning. I mean, the master plan is telling us, yes, we want to maybe look at housing because that's a huge thing. But it doesn't dictate what our zoning, we can change our zoning anytime we want. It doesn't have to be. Our master plan is telling us, this is what we're looking at. This is what we'd like to see. This is maybe what we could do. This is what we want to do. But the zoning is kind of the law. So zoning would have to be redone if you want it to be, you know, smaller lot sizes, or people can build two houses on a lot, or, you know, which a lot of that's dictated by state, so a lot of it for us, because we're small and we don't have a lot of property that's buildable, there's not a lot we can do besides maybe making our lots smaller, and not requiring them to be as big. But we're kind of not in a place where we have much options in Laingsburg because we just don't have a lot of land. The land that we do have are privately owned, so those people would have to be willing to sell. And then that's when zoning would come in, but master plan does not dictate your zoning. Zoning kind of dictates your master plan, but I mean, the master plan is your big picture. What we want to happen, what we see can happen. But we're kind of limited.
Master plan's the strategy and zoning's the tactics.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're all agreeing that the strategy is X, I think our tactics should match it, maybe be lockstep.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe it would be a good time to start to review some of that, and if we were to say, what were the major principles in the change of the master plan from 09 to 2026? And we just start looking at some of those broad things.
Yeah, that would be our next step, is to look at our zoning, and I'm hoping, maybe, who knows, with the budget that they've passed and stuff, that there'll be some you know, some grants to redo zonings for small communities, because that's kind of where they're pushing with the housing and stuff, so. Because the zoning is a big project too. Our zoning is pretty flexible, and because of our zoning board and our planning commission, we're pretty flexible with variances and stuff. But yeah, that would be the next step, is to do a big overhaul on our zoning, make it less strict.
So what, as the planning commission, what could we do to be, I mean, be actionable and help out with seeing some of that happen? Is there anything that we can do?
Basically with the planning, all comes to you to begin with, when, you know, like somebody wants to build a house, or like, we have a perfect example. We have a piece of property that, is, our zoning says it has to be 82 feet wide to build a house on. For some reason or another, we're not for sure because we don't have a survey, but we have a piece of property that's being sold. And it's only 62 feet wide, which is not that's against our zoning. So it would be getting a variance saying they can build a house on this 62 instead of the 84. We're trying to figure out when we change the zoning and whether this was split before the zoning was. So that is something, but that is something you could change in the zoning. We could change the zoning to not be so strict at the 85 and lower it to a smaller plot. So that's an example that we're dealing with right now, because we're trying to figure out whether this lot was, you know, it was sectioned off, but in assessing, it says it's 85, but everything else is saying it's like 66. So we have no idea, because we don't have a actual survey that says it. So I'm like, why would we have done this without a survey? Don't know, but because it was done a long time ago. So we don't know, and we don't have any paperwork. So that's a situation where, you know, the planning commission would say, okay, yeah, let's take this to the board of review, let it happen. But this is something you could do in the zoning, where you could make it smaller so that more houses could be. But like I said, we don't have a lot of opportunity for that to be happening, because we don't have a lot of land that people are. But like, if somebody were to decide to sell a piece of property and want to develop it, that's when we would want to change our zoning and see if we can get more houses in and make them not such a not make them 85, make them 65. That's something, same thing with affordable housing, with, trailers and, you know, more, I want to say like duplexes and triplexes and stuff like that. We could be less, strict on those, and those would all be changed in the zoning.
If a body was to embark on zoning, how would it go about it? Would it be chronological? Would it be the highest concern to honor the intention or spirit of the master plan? Is it a weight in a case by case basis as they appear? Like what would embarking on a zoning review look like?
It would be, probably pretty close to what the master plan is. You'd take it right from the beginning and you'd go through all the process of looking at every single thing on there and looking at what you can do to bring more housing. Cause that is the big push. And if there is a grant out there, it's gonna be for changing it to more housing.
And now the commission approved master plan, not yet council approved master plan would be the litmus test or the benchmark that we would hold things up against. Is this getting us closer to the master plan or further away as far as the individual parts of the zoning act?
I believe that, I'm not for sure, 100% sure on this, but I believe you guys are the, I don't know if this actually has to go to council. Cause I believe this is the planning commission final decision, is you guys approving it. But I will double check, but I'm almost positive that this is a total planning commission, project.
Got it. So
I mean, it never hurts to have the council say, yeah, we're good with it, but I believe you guys are the final.
this would be what we measure ourselves against.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's not a legally binding document, but it does, is the way I understand it, the research I've done, it should enforce. Like, the council should take that plan and say, okay, this is the direction the city should go.
Yes.
This is
And
what.
this is-
Should.
Yep, and it helps a lot with grants. Like, having a good master plan is huge with grants. Because it shows that the city, has taken these into consideration and what the grants that come along. We've already have the plan of what we want and they should all coincide with the grants that are coming up.
and then what would be an appropriate time frame to review the master plan? I know we are like 7.
Every 5 years, every year it gets reviewed and updated, like the small things, but every 5 years it should be updated completely.
Yeah, I would be a big proponent of taking a look at it every year. And just that way, it's not a huge overhaul of the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year it gets looked at, like, the little things in there that are, that change every year. Those things get updated every single year. We bring it and do that every year. But every 5 years, it needs a big look at anything that changes should be done in every 5 years. But every year it should be updated as far like, say, like years back when a subdivision went in. The next year you went in and said, okay, this is what happened, and you put it in as this did get done, or this is what our plan, we did what our plan said.
So do we need to, because we didn't approve it, we just said it was we approved to send it to council. Do we need to approve it and forego council?
You guys approved it. You approved it.
Okay.
I mean,
Nice guys and say, hey, council, now take a look at it.
Yeah, right. There we go.
Yeah.
And I told you so. You got the memo, right?
Anything else
On this or in general?
in general on this, whichever?
A different topic, going back to the 7415 Woodbury Road. I wasn't here at the April meeting, and I know that there was the motion to open the public hearing and then made to close the public hearing and move to request the special use and site plan for it. I'm just trying to get a sense of where we are on what trajectory it's on as far as where our sphere of influence and our mandate comes in versus when it's outside of that for that potential special use for the indoor storage units for that property.
So they are now following all of our zoning. So everything that was in that public hearing, they had to comply with. So they're following all of our zoning. So as far as where they're at right now, I have no idea. I have not heard from them.
But then they come back to us following that when they have the site plan, or what's the next stop on the?
Nope, they had their site plan and everything at the public hearing that was approved. So they have to follow that site plan. Which, and then there was a couple of things in there that needed to be tweaked a little bit and they needed to do, which they were willing to do. So as far as I know, they should be doing and following everything that we told them they had to do. That was what was approved.
Is there a shot
But
clock?
as far as I know, they have the go ahead to do what they have done. We've approved it and it goes from here. And then they'll, with the building permits and everything else, they'll be followed up with the building department and they'll make sure that they're doing everything on the building side of it. But the zoning part, they complied to it, so
Is
they
there a-
don't. And
Push them a little bit to get moving faster?
they have a year with their building permits, so there's not much we can do about making them go faster, but because they have a year with their building permits, this
was my first special use. Was this parcel zoned C2? Which I thought didn't explicitly stipulate. I'm not trying to rehash it. I'm trying to figure out how I can be best prepared, to attend and then be at the next meeting.
yeah, I believe that's what it was. And they were kind of changing the use a little bit because it wasn't retail anymore. It was going to be, indoor storage, which we don't really have. So, that was the whole the public hearing but they Spicer was very strict with them because they worked with them before and they wanted to make sure that they were doing everything they said they were going to do. So they made them jump through the hoops and get what they needed done, and they applied. So.
And it would have been potentially our prerogative if we would have said no. This commission could not. I'm not saying we should have. I'm saying this commission could have not approved the special use based on the current zone.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Or we could have, or we also in that situation, we can approve a special use with our prescribed changes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we did because there were a couple tweaks in there and they agreed to it. So yes, you could totally say no. Yeah, you could have voted no, we don't want that.
Was under the impression we were gonna get another crack at it when there was a final plan, because I know I specifically had questions about the facade and what they were doing with signage.
Yep.
Landscape, if it was gonna be as visible as the road. So
Yeah,
that,
those are all like building zoning kind of stuff. So yeah, that'll have to go through Phil and Joe with that kind of stuff. So they'll be doing the final inspections and stuff like that.
yeah, I think we should have to sign off. The facade, the finished product, if they're gonna do it, so.
Right, and their sign, because I remember, because I asked about the sign, they weren't planning on removing it.
The faded $50.
Yeah.
I know, that's that.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
we need to figure out something with it,
Mhm.
so.
Do we have sign requirements?
We have signed stipulations out there, but it's more of,
Our zoning is very vague.
yes, it's just. We don't need to have a sign that's faded and old and not even company that's
Yeah.
there. That's what, kind of what I was trying to say, if we need a new zone with a sign.
Yeah.
Put a new sign up that says storage, I don't care, but get rid of the family dollar.
Well,
I got
Right,
it.
and if they have a new sign, that it'll have to go through zoning and,
Right.
I mean, which I'm assuming they'll have a new sign, because
I hope so.
I don't know how they're gonna advertise for it if they don't have a new sign. But yeah, that was addressed in the whole plan, so that was, and they agreed to that, so.
I guess I would go on the record, knowing that the vote's already been cast, it's already been done, that I would probably have objections to accommodating a indoor storage facility in a C2 area that is a thoroughfare in our region, as far as one of the gateways in the region, as far as there's probably a higher and better use for that property. And I know that they said it had been vacant for a year, they tried to get somebody to rent it, that there's only so many spots that, I believe it was 4,500 vehicles potentially travel by. No, the storage one, so. Apologize for missing the meeting, but on the record to be more available for future conversations when it comes to zoning.
That's it.
Okay.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, we're good, Kim.
Alrighty,
All right. For our online.
thanks, Allison.
Yeah. How do I end the,
If you bring up the YouTube part, there should be a little button that says end all. There might even be one on the,
Turn it off. That's what I did. That's what I do it.
I didn't trust. Wasn't it?
No. Power button.
There you go. Take the battery out. Yeah, put it in your back.
It's not on.
Yeah, after our conversation.
I'm gonna put end on the Zoom?
Okay.
Will it
I just
just,
thought, you know,
sorry.
I feel like a lot of time just getting.
is there either screen, well, one of the screens that will say end all, there's a little red button on the right hand side and it'll say end all.
It'd take you 4 years to read.
Well.
Whether it's the Zoom or the YouTube, I'm not sure.
Okay, so we're doing